anything else you're working on right now, or?
I do. So I am a complete nutter geek. Like I've been into comic books and Dungeons and Dragons since I was itty.
So do you like Stranger Things?
I do, but I haven't seen the new season yet.
Ah!
I know. People are like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I'll find time."
Yeah, it definitely takes time because you don't want to stop. You want to go all the way through.
Yeah, and I don't have that kind of crazy binge time.
Yeah, it's a lot of time right now.
But I have been doing some work with game publishers. So I've recently written an adventure for an upcoming game based on a comic book called Chew.
Shoe, like your shoe you wear, or shoe fly?
Chew, like I'm eating food.
Oh, chew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a game based on a comic, and I wrote an adventure for the game. Yeah.
Did you write a whole book or screenplay? What did you do?
Oh no. It's more like a since it's a game and you can have crazy infinite possibilities, they give you specific missions or episodes to make it easier for you, and I wrote one of those.
Wow. When is that coming out, or is it already out?
That should be coming out soon, but I'm not exactly certain when.
Is that where do you play? Can you play it on Xbox?
It's a pencil paper board game sort of thing. Yeah. So you just buy a copy and play with whoever you have around.
Oh, and it's called Chew?
It's called Chew.
So we can order it online, like at Amazon.
You should be able to find it at Amazon or a gaming store. The company who makes it is called Imagining Games. So they'd be the best place to find it.
So it's like Dungeons and Dragons, because it's a board game.
Well, it's not a board game. It's a role-playing game, but it's similar.
Role-playing game. Interesting.
I like to say it's like being in an improv play.
Oh.
You know, one person's the director, everyone else is characters, and there's a book that tells you what the setting's like and generally what's going on and how that works.
This sounds almost like a good facilitator type of game, eh?
It might be.
Well, you are good at games, I'll tell you that. I mean, I definitely stole some of your games for sure to do.
Which is good, because that's kind of like the job of a facilitator. Find as many games as you can and steal them.
Yeah, that's what I love about facilitating. It's about truly sharing, yourself. Yeah. It's a great work atmosphere too. I missed our cafeteria days. All the fresh salad every day.
Yeah, it was nice.
I mean, it was only 2 years, I think. I was there 2 summers. It was so quick. It was just like so much fun, Oh well. I hope it comes back. I think it's definitely needed. But now it seems that it's called team building, and a lot of companies have their own people that do it in-house now. Part of human resources, going off on little weekends together, and then building their team.
Yeah, I have very many opinions on that.
Yeah. Because it's in-house?
Well, no, not because of that. Like, I've done trainings for trainers, so to businesses or schools, and gone over, best ways to facilitate a group, different game ideas, and that sort of thing. And I find way too many have a template that they have, or a selection of icebreakers or other things, and that's what they're really doing. They're saying, hey, instead of going to like Buffalo Wild Wings or going out to bowl together, we're gonna do a couple of icebreakers and now we're a better team.
And that's not enough.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you have to get to that part where you're falling back and someone catches you. And also learn how to ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you really can't ask for help until you've been embarrassed, like I was. And I was like, oh my God. Here I was thinking this and that. It was good to be self-sufficient, but there comes a time when, and that's why it's a great thing the national hotline for suicide just went up, the 988 number. That's a great thing for our country.
Well,
because
growth is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, when you're the first thing you think about with it when you have anxiety is how to not have anxiety anymore.
Exactly. So, and then you're thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
There's also many things in life that causes all that too, like too much sugar, too much caffeine, too much TV time, computer time, all kinds of things cause that nowadays too, So you got your board game?
I have another game that is in development right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is one that, not based on anything specifically, but is going to be my own game where you can, another one of those role-playing games where you have the opportunity to explore strange new worlds and help people out and do whatever you want to do and have crazy powers that come out of your dreams. It's going to be an interesting thing. Like, I've been going to different game conferences and letting people play the early version, and they've been having a great time.
Really?
Yeah.
I really think that is your thing. I mean, now that I think about that, facilitating with the games, and I really think that's a good thing for you. It's like it's going to pay off that hobby. Because, I don't know if you're into astrology. Are you at all into astrology?
Ish. Like, I used to be kind of heavily into it and then fell out. So.
Do you know what sign you are and all that then?
I am a Gemini.
Twins.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you love to hug. My son, my youngest, is also a twin.
So also a baby?
Yeah,
I was the baby.
Yeah, he likes to be at home. He got called the social butterfly this year, 6th grade. And
Nice.
It's only the 2nd year he's gone back to class. He wasn't even in school in 4th grade and half of 3rd grade. They had all computer learning.
Yeah.
Which is horrible for kids. They need to be around each other, playing those games we're talking about, being challenged, having uncomfortable situations. And like, oh my God, like you're 12 going in 7th grade. I said, that's a big year.
Yeah. Okay,
so we talked about your 2 board games that you got one that's coming out and one you're working on.
Yeah.
So are you working on anything else? Another poetry book?
There's one in development. I'm not exactly sure what's going to get in and what's not, but I have a couple of different grooves I'm playing with. Like, have you ever heard of erasure poetry? Or blackout poetry? Yeah.
No.
So there's a kind of poetry called blackout poetry where you find some source of something and you erase and you get, put big lines through things. You get rid of words until you have a poem.
Oh, kind of like a puzzle, and then you just block out letters?
Kinda. Well, it's more like, you get a page from any, like, let's say you have a textbook that's really boring or dry. Well, if you get rid of enough words, it becomes something interesting.
Oh, pretty cool.
So I've been doing a lot of those, and I have a couple of different themes that have been showing up. So I'm going to kind of mix and match things and see what makes the best book.
And where are you finding the text to black out?
I decided that I would take my first full-length book and use it. So, like, I'm redoing all the poems in there to see how they end up. So fingers crossed they're all good. We'll find out.
But you're recycling yourself.
For at least part of this new book, yeah.
That is pretty cool, Esther. Excuse me.
No problem.
Okay, so your games and all the things that you do is definitely feeding into the planet Pluto. which stays in a spot for 20 years because it takes forever to move, right? It's going to move into Aquarius next March, off and on, and then it's going to go into Aquarius by 2024 for 20 years. So what you're doing for people learning how to come together and communicate better, it's only going to be needed more as time goes on. I mean, imagine team building the Congress and the Senate. How fun would that be? Because you see them during the during the Capitol riot, and they're scared to death. And they're like, oh, you're bad. And then the next day they're like, oh, Trump didn't say anything, no. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Let's go in there and team build those suckers.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I just think that, have you seen that movie, Don't Look Up?
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I kept thinking about team building the whole time. I don't know why. I guess because it was a team building exercise, to go talk to the President of the United States about this. But it was just hysterical. But, well, I appreciate you seeing you again, and I hope we see each other again in person.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe we can have a reunion or something.
Yeah. I'm thinking even just a bonfire would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in her backyard. Okay, well, thank you, honey. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Thank you for asking me.
Oh, I want you to come back anytime you have something else you want to talk about. Like when you get that other game. So the other one's Chew, and this game you're working on.
The new one is Memories of Tomorrow.
Memories of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then what's the other thing you're working on too, though? Another thing.
It's Chew, Memories of Tomorrow. There's the book that does not have a name yet.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. And besides that, it's just helping out in the neighborhood and community stuff.
Yeah. If you ever come down this way for poetry reading, let me know. Even to Chicago.